Good afternoon, friends. As of now, we almost completed all the hooks and API components in React, which is provided by a React organization. Then they provide additional hooks that's part of Canary or experimental features. So we'll see those two hooks now. Then we will how we can do it and see it later. Okay. Okay. So till now, what we saw that various hooks and functionalities that is deal with individual component, right? Individual HTML element. So as of now, we will see form level management. That is, we have that in a form, username and password. So one specific hook will support the form level activities. That is, uh, form status and form state. Form state is nothing but it provides initial value or provides values and initial value for that entire form. Then also provide that functionality to run the method when we execute submission. We'll see this. Okay. Okay. So in this example, we have that username and password to input type element. When I provide a username and password, so it call one specific function and returning the value. How it is done? Here, see that. Okay. Okay. See this, we have that form state. So it provides that function when when it will be executed when we submit that form. So that is a login function that is there, and it provides initial state value for the forms. So it's nothing but login name and uh, password is login ID and error message. Those are that initial value for this state. Here we define that our forms, that is username and password type. Okay, so when we submit this form, what will happen? The method login will be executed since it is mapped with this form state. So it will return that state value as a test user. Test user will define here. Test user, and also it provides the form data. Form data, how we can get it? With the help of that form data dot get. So it is mapped with input type name, input type element name. So all the names all part of this form data that will be retrieved using this form data dot get. So it will retrieve the login name and password. We verify that if login name is equivalent to Sathik and password is equivalent to Sathik, then we update the state values. User is login true, else false. Also, we send that user message. So once it is done, it will send data back to the form. So then it will be re-executed or re-rendered. Then we check this login. Is login true? Then it says that the user is logged. Else, it says that error message. We will see how it is working. Okay. When I submit, okay, when I submit what is happening here, it will call that login function and pass the values. So we retrieve that login name and password using this form data get method. Then we verify it. If login name is Sathik and password is Sathik, password is password, then we set that is login is true. That is also part of that state value. And if it is not matched, then we set that is login is false and we update that error message. So once it is done, it is returned back to the form state with the state. That is user is a state here. So it is returned back to form state. Then it will be re-rendered and update the value. So that's what happening. So we'll check one more time. So I provide something else. So it's validating here, and this statement will be executed. Login is false and error message that it will shown here. Okay. Okay, so once we provide correct value, it send that is login true. So here you are checking here, if login is true, then we return this uh, HTML element, that is user login name is logged. Okay, so another one is form status. Okay, form status provide value of status of that submission. So once we submit, it might call database activities, or it will call external APIs. So it will take some times, right? So that time it will send some status, whether it is pending or it is updated completely. So for that, we can use form status. So use form status should be a part of that form element. It should be in form element, then only it will work. So we are calling that we have created a new component submit. In submit, we are using that use form status hook. It return if it is pending, then it send us a pending. Otherwise, it is false. Okay. Here you see that we desperately waiting for 2 seconds when we click this login. So that time, so pending value become true. So if it is true, then we change that attribute styling, that is submit will be disabled and background value will be changed. Here you see that I click the submit button. Okay, so that form status when become a true, then it is change the button element attribute is background color will be changed as, and also it will become a disabled. Okay, so these two, form status and form state, these two are part of React DOM package. Otherwise, what we saw earlier, all hooks and components APIs are part of React. These two only is part of React DOM. So you see that it mentioned it in nearby this state that is mentioned some icon, right? So it means that it's a canary. Canary means in Microsoft, it can be called as a pre-release, right? Similarly, here we call that canary. Canary is nothing but it's a pre-release. So it is not available as part of React Create app. That is the official React command to create a React application for that. So when we want to use this canary or experimental states, then we must use that white or any other tool to create a web applications. So okay, how we can create a application using white? This just example. So instead of create React app, we can execute this statement, create white. So white is a another tool to create a React or view application. So we can create a view or create application using this white. So when we execute, it asks that project names and asks the framework. We can select React, and it asks that compiler type. So typically, when we run that application, any other JavaScript application, the default compiler will be not compiler. Transpiler is Fable. But white provide additional option, that is SWC, that is speedy web compiler. It's a another way of transpile our React or Vue into a JavaScript. Okay, that is a SWC. So once it is completed, it will just create a application without any package. then we have to install this npm install. Using this npm install, it will install all required item. Then we must install this React Canary and React DOM Canary. It must be installed to get that all feature under the Canary. Then we must update that white NVDTs. As of now, I am using this white. So we have to update these three items. By default, white client only available. Then we have to update React Canary and React DOM Canary. So once it is done, then our React application is ready in using white tool. So we can use it. So it is a way of using that white tool with React applications. So next things we will see it. So almost we completed all the items comes under with the banner of React. Okay, so as we already saw that React does not provide additional functionality or additional features. It just provide the features to create a UI block or UI component only. So if you want to implement state management or routing or any other technology, you must depend with third-party tools. So today we will see two items. One is Redux. Redux is nothing but it's a state management application. I will show that. Okay. Okay, as we saw that React provides state management for only for component level, right? So we can use state. It's only provide state management for component level. So if you want to use uh, state management for application level, then we must depend with additional packages. The one of the packages Redux. Today we will see the Redux how it is working, and Redux how it is working. It's based on the publisher and subscriber pattern of architect. So if you need to install React, then we must install these two packages, React Redux and at Redux.js -toolkit. These are the two packages to provide all features for the Redux and React applications. Okay, we will see some sample how it is working. So Redux is nothing but is a combination of two hooks that we already saw it. One is use context. Use context, we already saw that it just provides or it just used to share the data between the components through the components. That is the sharing only for its reading the values. And another one is reducer. Reducer, we saw that it is used to update the values by defining the action. So these two is the combination of Redux. Redux is combination of use context and use reducer. These are the two basic items. Rest built on top of these two items. Okay, we see it how it is working. Okay, it is created using that React Creator tool. Okay. Okay. You already saw that this kind of screen in your people Zoho, right? So it's list out all the users who are available as of in office or who are out from the office or leaves. So this screen is a similar screen. When you user out, the number of percentage will be zero, right? Whenever user come inside, then the percentage will be increased. Okay. Similarly, user out, that number of percentage will be decreased. Okay, how we done this screen using Redux, we will see it. See here, number of percentage is global value, so it can be used anywhere in the application. So for that purpose, we need to maintain a state management for application level. So we can, how we can use this Redux in our application, we will see that. Okay. Okay. So as we already saw that Redux is combination of two. One is uh, context and another one is reducer. So how we can create those two items, we will see it. So first we will defining our stores. Store is nothing but is a common data which will be used across the application. Okay. So we are creating the store. Store from, if you want to create a store, you need to use that configure store and list of reducers. So how we can create a reducer? That is another one file. That is, there is a function called create slice. If you call that create slice, it is used to create a reducer. So here I am defining that reducer name, that is the store name, employees, right? And initial state. Initial state is nothing but number of percentage. Okay, this is a common data will be used across the application. And reducer I want to increase or decrease. Actually update that percentage. For that I have created one method, that is update percentage. So it will return that state and action. Action is nothing but when it needs to be increased or when it needs to be decreased. Okay, that is managed inside. How we will see it. So for using Redux, we need a two item. One is store and the another one is reducer, list of reducers that can be created using this create slice. Okay. Okay. So when we want to use this Redux, so it must be a wrapper of the component, all the component. Then only we can utilize throughout the application. So I declaring this provider. Provider is nothing but it's from React Redux. Okay. And store is, we already saw that store is returns that uh, common data for the application. Okay. So here we are defining that our application with the division inside, we that we provide that easy group employees and whatever. And store purchase is another one component, that is the component part of that application that returns our actual percentage, right? And store user is, we have created this component to list out all the user. We will check how that store user is created. Okay. Okay, store user is just get the data from database and it will list out all the users using the app reduxer, app user reduxers. So that is dealing with the individual users. So how it is created? Okay. So we just provide that layout and user icon and username, user role, and one input type checkbox, right? When you click the checkbox, it update the percentage. So how we are doing this update? Okay. The specific checkbox is mapped with one user state, that is user in, user state. When we change the user, it will call the dispatch. Dispatch is nothing but list of action item from the Redux. So we call that update percentage, that is defined in your slicer, that is a reducer. Okay, so we provide that. Okay, it provides that positive value 1 or negative value 1 based on the checked. If it is checked, it will return 1. Otherwise, it is will be a -1. Okay, so it provides +1 or -1 based on the condition checked in, checked out. So once the user state the change the value here, it call that update percentage. Okay, then it is update the value, right? Okay, update the values, right? It's a present current parenthesis plus or minus one. It's update the value. So once it is updated, what will happen? It dispatches all the values wherever it is used. Okay, back to Redux. We used stored percentage. We're using that user selector. So selector is returning the state value, and the dispatch is used to update the values. So whenever the value has been changed, then you update the values using this use selector. It will return the current value, and this store percentage will be re-rendered and update the value. So this is the way of using this Redux in our applications. So any doubt? It might be a little bit complex until or unless you have to utilize this Redux. Redux is a common functionality in all Java application. Nothing new in React. Any doubt? Any questions? Okay. So we almost completed, and we will move it to next item, that is router. Router is the important concept in any other application. So we'll how we can implement router in our React application. We will see it. Again, I'm using that white tool. So to run this application in create React command is npm start. In white, it is a npm run dev. Okay, see this, how we achieve this layout and how it is working here. Okay, as we saw that React does not provide any routing mechanism as it is in Angular or Vue.js. So it's a third party. So that most used routing system in React application is React Router DAM. It's a third party. Okay, it provides that path and component based. That is, you can define your path and map this path with one component. That's the concept of router DAM. So in Angular, you have to define your routing, and it is more items, work needs to be done. But here is very simple. Okay, and also component can be protected. How we can protect, we will see that. And React router is uh, provides three basic items, that is browser router and routes and route. This is the most three important item needed to run routing in React application. We will check how it is working. Okay, so if you want to implement a routing mechanism in your application, that application should be wrapped with browser router component. That is part of React router DApp. Okay. Okay, that's the one important thing. So the application should be wrapped with browser routes. Then we have to define our routes. I will just to forget this auth provider, we will see it later. And app. Okay, we are defining our routes with that app component. So here the collection of routes. Routes is nothing but collection of route. Route is dealing with path and component. So route is used to define your path and mapping a one element, right? So that's what we are seeing here. When you click, this runs that account component with that path of accounts. See that we just written that accounts and this input type button. Similarly, you see that transfer. We are defining that transfer path with the element of transfer. Okay. Right. So the most three important component for React is browse router and routes and route. Okay, how route is working? Okay, so here we are defining that in main TSX in browser router the default components app. Okay, app is used to define our routes, collection of routes. Okay, so whenever you call that route, we have to provide a one design, that is layout or design. So it is in our MVC application render bodies, right? So in the body section, all the paths or main components will be executed, and your in our application, your header and router and other messages will be static. So here also we have that static element and dynamic element. So static element will be defined in your layout. Layout is nothing but is another one component. So whatever we need a static in our application, you mention in your layout section. So other dynamic element, you can do it in another one component. We will see how that layout is defined here. That is a root path. Here is a root path. Okay. Here we are defining all the static components, that is account, transfer, bill pay. It will be a static for all the pages. So we are defining here, right? All menus will be defining here. So it is a static one. And dynamic is a outlet. So whenever you are click one path, the static will be permanent, and the content of the content of the path element will be rendered in the outlet. For example, you are clicking accounts. So when what will happen, the account that root will be come to this app component. Here it will check that what's that root element, that is layout. So layout will be rendered here. Then it will check that where is that outlet. Outlet is the actual content will be rendered for this account. Then so outlet will be written here. Okay, in static elements all will be rendered, and outlet as a dynamic element will be rendered in this page itself. So then what will happen? Then it called that specific path accounts. Then it will move to accounts. Here it is rendered all those HTML elements in this outlet area. So that's what here you see that accounts and input type button. Any question as of now? Okay.
Sathik,
Ah,
bro, just in.
yeah, just
My colleague Ram have some doubts.
yeah.
Sathik, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no. Is that our user-defined names? Uh, you have mentioned, na?
What is it? Can you come again?
Please go to the code.
Okay.
The route you are mentioning, na?
Hmm.
The path equal to accounts and transfer. So that are user-defined or
Yeah, user define. You can define. If I want
okay, okay.
route,
Whatever name we can
yeah,
give.
yeah, yeah. You can provide that path name and element name. So yeah, that's what you can define your own routes. Whatever routes, it's not a
Okay,
you can define your routes. All right.
okay, okay.
So for example, I want to delete anything here. You can will delete it. So do we just delete the routes, right? But the menu item will be come from layout. Okay, layout. So here you have to delete, right? If you delete it, then transfer will be gone here, right? Account will be.
Okay, okay. Yeah, got it. Thanks, Sathik.
Yeah. Okay. So I repeat again. For defining your routes, we need a three components, that is browse router and routes and route. Okay. Okay. So if you want to navigate your routes or pages, you can use that another one component link, that is we here provided here in app.js. Okay. So if you want to navigate from one page to another page or one link to another link, you can use link. Here you can see it. Okay, see it. If I want to go transfer, you click transfer, bill pay. So in React, you have to use link. For example, suppose you want to use HTML attribute, HTML element A, that is anchor element. What will happen? I click that A is defined with the help of uh, anchor. So what is happening? You see any difference? Okay, when you click transfer with the help of link, it is not flickering, right? It's not flickering. But when you use this anchor, what is happening? It's flickering. You see that in top, this refresh everything. So the page will, everything will be refreshed. So for that purpose, you have to use link. When you create a React application, you must remember you should not use anchor. Instead, you must use that link to navigate from one page to another page. You have to, instead of anchor, you have to use link. That is one important thing. The next is okay, index fee. Okay, here we just call that localhost 3000. It means main TSX, it mapped to app, right? Then it checks that which one is the index page. Index page is a default page. So if it does not provide any root here, then it will execute that index element, that is accounts here. And also we mapped created a path for account also. So if it does not provide any path, then it will execute the index element. Okay, so we already saw that outlet. In React application, you must, if whenever you use this React router term, that outlet is that key item in defining your dynamic element. So without outlet, it will not work. If you remove that outlet, then path that specific path will not be executed. So how this application is executed, it will check that route, okay, and check for outlet where it is the outlet will be available. So if it is available, then it move to return this layout component will return a outlet element. Then it will check that which path is executed. So it finds out that okay, then render that accounts component, then it's render into output element. That's what we are getting the result here. So whatever you see in top, that is the static element. Whatever see in here is a outlet inside the outlet. So outlet is very important. You where you can define, you must understand that how it is working. Okay. Okay. And another one is use navigate. Okay. Okay, see here in account page, we want to navigate to transfer page. I click this transfer, then it is navigated. How it is working, we will change. Okay. Use navigate, provide that programmatically navigate from one page to another page. That is a use navigate, uses of use navigate. It provides that use navigate. Then you can call that navigate function and you provide that which path needs to be called. Okay, so you call that the navigate transfer, then it will be transfer navigator to transfer page in programmatically. But user action, you can use link. Okay, then we can see how protected or how we can implement authentication and authorization in React application. We will see it. Okay. Okay, in this page, we have a list of menus, accounts, transfer, and bill pay, and card management. Okay, and when I click card management, it asks to login, right? And also cache management also asks to login, and private asks us to login, messages, reports, and login. Okay, so how it is protected with that login? Okay, so we provide one for cache management and card management and private. So these three components wrapped with another one route called as a require auth. Okay, so what is happening in require auth? So when you provide that, when you call that cache management, okay, it will check that there is a wrapper for this cache management. So it will first execute require auth. Require auth is nothing but we just created. It's not a React defined one. Just we created a React app as a component. We created that component React app. Okay. So here I have created one hook that is a use auth and one auth provider. So use auth provider, we already saw that it is how we can share the values through the application, that is a create context. With the help of create context and use context, we can share the values across that components. So I have created a one context called as auth context. In the auth context, I have created one more component that is auth provider. Here I have that one state variable login and set login. Okay, login, you know that it's a Boolean value, and set login is used to update that login value. Okay, and it is and we have created a provider auth context provider login, and we pass that values login and set login. It can be available globally. That's the meaning of auth context provider. It provides login and set login will be used anywhere in the applications, and we pass the children. Okay, and use auth. It is used to retrieve the value inside the auth context. Okay, in auth context, we have that property that is login and set logins. It can be retrieved using this use auth hook. Okay, where we use this auth provider, you see that the entire application is wrapped with auth provider, right? So in this auth provider, we can define our whether it is login or not login, and also we update the value for login. Okay. So entire application is wrapped with auth provider. So I click require app. What is happening here? We try to retrieve that login, whether it is a login or not login. The user is login in this application or not. To find out, we are using this use auth hook. So you just return that login value. It may be a true or false. Okay. So if it is a true, what will happen? If it is a false, what will happen? So if it is a true, okay, just return outlet. We saw that what is the use of outlet? Outlet is the control will be moved further. That's the meaning of outlet. Okay, I verified. Okay, you can move it further. That is the outlet. It just return. If it is login true, it return the outlet. If it return the outlet, what will happen? It try to execute cache management, okay, or code management or private. So it will give the permission to execute next level. So if auth require auth is, if this the login is false, then it asks us to navigate to login, right? So navigate is another one utility to navigate to another page programmatically. It also have that parameter state. State means what's the path name? What is the current path name? So it is useful. We will see how we can use this location in future. We will see that. So if this the login is false, then it asks us to move to login. So we are trying to change the page to login. So login, what will happen? We have that button. When you click login this button, it called that click handler, right? Click handler, what will happen? Use of auth provider, auth context, it update the value, set login will be true. Okay. After 2 seconds, it return back to old path. That is we set here, right? That is a state from location current path. We are passing that current path. Then you try to move into next, navigate to next path. So we will see how it is working. Okay. If I click code management, that is a secured component. Then it asks us to log in. That is from login. So once I click login, what will happen? You see carefully, and there is a reports login menu. I click login. Okay, it's logged in and changed to code management. And also here, the login menu will be disappear and logout will become true. How it is, we see. And also we disable that this input type button immediately. Okay. So when we click, then it execute the login handler, set login become true, and navigate to the previous method, that is code management and cache management. I hope you understand this one. Okay, what will happen? Okay, we already used that use auth to understand whether any user is logged in or not out. If it is logged in happen, then this entire component will be re-rendered and refreshed. If it is a login, then logout menu will be appear and login menu will be disappear. Once similarly, when you click logout, what will happen? We make it as a set login become false. Using this use auth, we just retrieve that use auth from our auth provider, and then it will become update this layout. Then login menu will be appear and logout menu will be disappear. So we log in now. So it accept card management and cache management. So here check that require app. So it checks whether it is login true or not. If it is true, it allows further, that is returning outlet. So once it is returned outlet, then it will be execute the cache management or card management. So able to get it or any question? Okay, all right.
Hello.
Yeah,
Sathik.
yeah.
Sathik Ramkumar here again.
Mm.
So is there any functional difference between that link and navigate?
Okay, link is used by end user, right? I click this link. It's a link is a component. So I click this link, then it will navigate to the specific page. By that's we provide this mechanism to user end user, right?
Okay.
And navigate is we use programmatically. Navigate is when you click this button, for example, when you click this button, what will happen? We programmatically transfer, right? That is the use of navigate. Okay, link is used to define your path. Okay, navigate is it's try to navigate to the next page.
Okay, it's a kind of redirect.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, if you can consider link is nothing but href in Anchor href,
Hmm.
and you navigate is redirect or redirect permanently, rewrite something like that.
Okay. Okay, understood. Thanks.
Yeah. And another way use of navigate, you can use also navigate is a component level. Actually, that navigate used in JavaScript, and navigate and link used in the HTML level. Okay, that's another one different. Okay. Now we see that another one menu private. Okay, here private also wrapped with require auth component. What will happen? I check that current location where it is coming from that control. If it is from private, then navigate to unauthorized. So that's what. So nobody can access this private page. Okay. Okay, sometimes you need to pass that parameter, additional parameter. For that, you can provide that slash something. Then you get that those values using those parameter. I didn't provide any sample for that. Okay, no issues. Okay. So how secure this using this router React router domain DOM? If try to access any other non-defined items, so you are not able to find your path. So if it is not mapped with any item in your route definitions, is nothing matched, then it will run this path. Right? If you provide any value that is matched with any of this route, then it will be executed. Path equal to star means then it will gather all the undefined path and execute that specific element here. So I think I covered all the things in React router done. So we completed React. Any question you can ask me now. So we almost completed. So additionally, we saw, as we said, that React does not provide any own component. So if you want to build a React application using any UI, means you can use Bootstrap or Tailwind or CSS Bootstrap or Material. You can use any other UI component for building UI application, and you can use any other third package to third party build application. So you must understand, React is used to create a building blocks or UI components. That's the major role for Relay. So additionally, you want to do anything, then you must depend with any other third package. Third package. This is the one. So this is a major difference between Angular and Vue. So they have own package for creating routes or other mechanism. But here it does not provide anything. That's the major difference between React and rules. But you remember that React is most used UI JavaScript framework than Angular. So it is in top two. Other than top one is Angular. Vue is that one. So it is most used, and it is used by the Facebook and WhatsApp and Skype and all. That's what we saw that in our first class. So we almost completed React. Next, we will start that Next.js application. What's the difference between React and Next.js? In React, you have any question, you can ask me now.
So, like Angular, is there any dependency injection concept here in React?
Yeah, that's what I told. React does not provide anything, it's your own, but you can use any other third party package.
Okay, for that also we can use third party. Yeah.
Yeah. It cannot provide any guidelines what kind of
Mhm.
component you have to use or what kind of package you have to use. It does not provide any guidelines, so you can use in yourself. That's the main thing in React,
Okay.
right? So hopefully you can understand this React application, and if any doubt, you can let me know, and I will share these sample codes with you all. Thanks. Tomorrow we will see that Next.js, and we saw that React does not provide any features, but how that Next.js provide the additional features on top of this React, we will see it. Similarly, today we saw that React routing or paging mechanism. Similar way, how that Next.js provided by its own package. We will see it tomorrow. So thanks for all watching this one. Thank you.